Hi, everyone. Welcome to another session. We are going to talk about some stuff about Salesforce again. As I promised last time, I'll be repeating the part we discussed earlier. It is about Salesforce understanding. What is data table, metadata, data, and integration in Salesforce? If you are familiar with Excel or spreadsheet, Google spreadsheet, you will be able to understand easily how Salesforce is working generally. So today I'm trying to explain how Salesforce looks like generally from Excel perspective. So if you are simple Excel user, you should be able to understand the logic behind Salesforce as well. So firstly, the data itself in all database, it can be Salesforce, Cloud, or some other database. We are talking about tables, data tables. So in data tables, like in this sheet, we see some rows and columns. Columns usually represent our fields in Salesforce. Fields like ID, name, surname, email, phone number, or website, blah, blah. So whatever. So this way we can list our data. And every row here, we call it record. For example, let's see some sample here. For example, this one here, I have ID in first column, name, email, active or not. We have true, false, Boolean type. We have date type as a birth date. We have maybe a website if I want to keep websites. So I will be putting some websites here. For example, let's say just internet speed. So I want to measure internet speed, for example, just I can copy this URL. Let me remove all this part. Oh, Google, right? This is a website. I will copy this one and paste it here. So this is my website. Let them be the same. These are websites. So all data type inside these cells, this Excel, can be different. For example, this is a text. So just simple text type. This is email type. In Salesforce, we know email type, special, you see. So it should have .com at the end or at least .co at minimum. And there should be at this at the rate sign in it. And this is email type. I have Boolean type. This is true or false. So I can change it differently, like ticked, checked, unchecked. I can make this way. This is data type. As you can see, this is date type, actually date type of data. And this is, so far it is text, but I can change it differently, URL type. So we have different data types and we are using different types of this. So now I'm trying to explain what is data and what is metadata. I will come to metadata as well. So this is data, and data can have different types. So this ID, this is text type, this is email type, this is Boolean type, this is date type, this is URL type, blah, blah. So this way I can have different types. And this is data table. Data table means all my database can be represented as a data table. For example, this is my accounts. So let me change it, accounts. So my accounts object is this table. So I can say that my objects can be represented by an Excel table. So this is my object. And this is my field, obviously. This is another field, this is another field. And this is field name. Let me change as a bold. This is field name. field label, and each row after then is representing my record. So this is my one record. So one record has different fields and different values representing all for each field. So this is my ID field, this is my name field, blah, blah. And the other row is another record. So I may have different records here. So this is the data and my fields records. Okay, what is metadata then? What is the difference between data and metadata? So metadata is not data, is not valued directly, but it is just a feature of the cell, we can say. Like, for example, if I change, let me make differently, this column, I copy this one and paste it here. So I have the same data in third column and the ninth column. However, it can be different metadata. For example, name can be red, and even the same cell may have different font size, and I can put different font type like this one. I can also change data type from general. I can make it, which one I can, okay, from general, I can make text, for example, or I can just make a different background, blah, blah. So the data is same, both has XYZ as a name, but this name is different from this one because the metadata is different, because the feature of the cell is different. So even though this cell, for example, this one has different features, different metadata, but we may not understand directly if there is no data in it. Like this one, I can change it to bold, italic, underline, and from date to, let's change it to, for example, fraction. And what else? I will make it bigger. I will change also the font from this one to, let's say, this one. So see, there is no difference with this one. They are same when you look from outside. However, when you type something, you will understand that this is different or just number. So we will see that this is different from this one. That is why this metadata can be transferred from one to other cell. For example, I will open another sheet here, and this one is new sandbox, let's say, and I want to move these features to other one. In that case, just I'm copying the format painter. When I format painter here, paint the format here, and come to other page and just click here. So this new cell has the same feature with this one. It means deployment in Salesforce from one sandbox to other sandbox is very similar to this one. So look at this. This feature, let's say E12, with change set, I can select this element and then deploy to other sandbox. And here I will see the same feature. However, data may be different. So metadata is the same, but data is different. For example, data here is different like this. However, they have the same feature. This has the same feature as this one. Okay, let's do one more thing. For example, let's say this is sandbox 1, and this will be my sandbox 2. Okay, sandbox 1 and sandbox 2. So I want to transfer the feature of, for example, all these, one of them, for example, this one. Okay, I want to transfer the features of this column to other database, to other system. So from my sandbox 1, transferring to sandbox 2 is as if I am just using Format Painter. Just I copy this one and I come here and I just transfer it anywhere. Let's say here. Okay. As you see, you don't see any data in it. However, something has changed, which is the feature of these cells. So if I write something inside, it will be working similar with this one. Let's assume this one. I have some numbers, let's say something like this. And I want to use automatic functions just to calculate the sum of this, right? So I have a ready formula, auto sum. Let's use auto sum here. Open. Sorry. Auto sum. Enter. Okay, this one too. Let's say like this. Okay, so the first 5 numbers is here. So I auto sum here. I'm saying that if I copy this as a deployment, just I'm transferring this feature to Sandbox 2 from Sandbox 1, as if I'm just using Format Painter, and I come to another sandbox. Let's say I want to use it here. So here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anyway, so now this feature has copied. I deployed from one sandbox to another sandbox. However, data may be different. So here my data are different. So I use different data here. Sorry, I did something wrong. Let me copy again. So this time I want to format just all of them and copy here. Just use it here. And then, as you can see, the seventh column, seventh row, sorry, H7 is my total number, the sum of the other numbers. So that's why I can just put it here. Open. Should be here, right? 7. Can't see it here. Anyway, this one is not copied here. What the format has copied normally. For example, if I make it bold, it should be also bold, or if I make it italic and underline, and same way it will be coming here. As you see, I can copy, but data is different. So data is the value of this cell, but metadata is the feature, the properties of this cell, or generally, we can say this one. But now, the other question is, what is integration then? If I want to retrieve data, the same data from one database to other database, what does it look like in Excel then? It is different, obviously. For example, let's say I have 2 different databases. This is my third-party system. Let's say third party, and I want to link these 2 databases. We call it integration. So I want to make integration with this system to other uh, Excel sheet. This is also database. Let's say this is my Salesforce. The other one is third-party system. And I want to provide my data, Salesforce data, to third-party system. This third-party may be payment system, maybe search algorithm, maybe something else. But I want to use my data from Salesforce to this third party. Now, to do that, just you need to make a mapping. What value you want to use in this cell, or from which cell you are referencing here. So that's all. For example, here just I make equal, and I want to use, let's say, the first data here. And when I press enter, I will see the same value here. We call it data integration. Okay, no more metadata now. We are using just data in it. And let's use the same way for the part. There's integration of the second one is name, and another one, I use the other one, which is this one. So you can change the name, by the way. So let's say this is no. It was ID, but here no. So instead of name, I can use different. For example, full name. Instead of active, I can say, so what was the name here? So active, for example, in my value, I just want to write is active, for example, is active. And instead of birth date, I can say just date of birth. I'm trying to say that you don't need to use the same name as a field label. It can be different labels. However, the value of each row is same as a data because it is coming from the same, it is referencing here. That's why all data is coming here. So for example, email can be later. Let's say I put email in the other position. It doesn't matter, but just I'm putting email for the right place, which is here. It is coming here. And date of birth will be birth date here. So it's here. Now, in integration, data integration, the data, the value of fields must be the same because we are synchronizing. We are just copying, referencing from one database to other database. That is why if I change my value here, for example, instead of ABC, I want to say just my name here. And when I go to here, as you see, it is changing my name because it is integrated. We call it real-time integration. Real-time integration means if any change from the first database, it will be reflected to the second database directly in the real time, immediately. So this is what is happening. And what metadata may be different here. For example, in my second data, which is third party, in third party database, for example, I can make it bold. I can make it, for example, in yellow background or red or different fonts. Let's use this one, for example. But this will not affect my data because still I'm copying, I'm taking the data from this data table. That is why integration, we call it data integration. It is all about data, all about value. But deployment itself from one sandbox to other sandbox is all about metadata. So shortly, we cannot deploy data, the value from one sandbox to other sandbox. Instead, we are just transferring the feature, the property of the cell. If this is bold, this will be bold. If this is date type, this will be date type as well. If there is a formula here, there will be formula. If there is automation, there will be automation in next sandbox. So with this, we are deploying metadata, not data. But integration is all about data, and any data appearing here will be reflected in other database, but in different format, in different view. That is why you can change the name, you can change the view of just user, and you can change the data table format. However, data, the value will be the same. I hope you understand the logic. So I tried to explain what is data and data table, metadata, integration, data integration, and deployment, the difference of them from Excel point of view. And finally, you can also interchange or convert data type or data table from one to another. Like we have different format of data tables. So Excel is one of them, or CSV. Usually we use similar to Excel, CSV file or CSV format is a very common format to usually to migrate to retrieve data or to import or export data. However, we have other converters as well. For example, let's use data converter. Usually we use JSON format. That's why I will put JSON. We will have converter. For example, this one, I think would be okay. So from this, of course, there are a lot of them. So you can use different websites. Is not the best one. Let me use another one because I didn't like this. Convert JSON to CSV, for example. If I want to convert JSON to CSV, you can use this one. So with this, you can, let me open, you can convert your data from one another. You see a lot of them here. CSV to JSON, CSV to KML, CSV to XML, HTML data table, and all of them. You can convert one another. It will be useful for you as well to understand how it looks like the JSON format with Excel format. So I can represent my data table from Excel very easily as we did here. So this is one of the Excel format. It's just data table. If I want to convert it to JSON format, so easily you can do it here in this website from one another. So you have format, for example, JSON format. Just I can type here with JSON format. You know, JSON format is working with this one, always key and value. And inside this, of course, we use quotation like this. Should be always in string format. And then we put value, for example, like this. And comma, next one. Comma, next one. And with this, you can put a lot of them. For example, let's say H should be under string like this. And that's all you can change. So this, if you want to change it to Excel, you can make it to Excel. Or if you want to make a different format, for example, XML format, just you can do it as well. So easily convert JSON to CSV file. It seems very, very similar, but you can download it and to see, if you want to see in your computer, you can see here. So I hope you understand the logic here, how to convert one format to other format. It would be useful in your daily work because definitely you will be converting from one format to another format. Today, as you know, we want to keep it very short and brief, these lessons. I hope you understand the logic, how to, or what is deployment, what is integration, data integration, what is data and metadata in Salesforce. Thank you very much for listening. See you next week in another lesson.